I can still remember this one incident vividly about the late President Moi. I think I was in class 2 or 3. Our school happened to be along the road that he was going to use that day on his way to the airport. Now remember, this was the 90s. What used to happen then is that if the president was to pass by, let's say by noon, the entire school, now when I'm talking about the entire school, it means the principal, the teachers, the pupils, the subordinate staff, and the community that surrounded the school could wait for him hours earlier. Why? Just by chance, he could stop and address us because he loved people, especially school pupils. These moments were a sense of occasion with cheers and excitement everywhere. Now, when that moment came, even before I saw the president escort, I could hear the tremble on the ground as though a major earthquake was about to happen, and everybody went mad. At a far distance, I could pick sirens building, and then came the moment everybody was waiting for. A large entourage of almost 100 vehicles came surging towards us at breathtaking speed, and a stream of cheers filled the air. Sandwiched in the entourage was a black executive limousine. When it was an eye distance away from me, the back left window sagged, and a huge hand with an impeccable charcoal gray suit adorned in a golden wristwatch waved at us. It was as if it was waving at me. He never addressed us that day, but what I can remember is the aura of power and presence for those few seconds. That never left me. That was President Moi. He was such an imposing leader in his reign. But the gift of leadership is different. Greatness by the gift of leadership comes through service. If the gift of leadership was a star, then what gives the star the brightness is service. A leader with a heart of service is always proactive to see and to meet the needs of people with love. A person with the gift of leadership will always be at the forefront to lead by example and not by memo. The other way the gift of leadership differs from other models of leadership is by how you receive it. The gift of leadership, or any spiritual gift, is received through salvation. Everybody has a unique spiritual gift, but the expression of the manifestation differs from one person to the other, because it is the Holy Spirit who gifts, and He gives freely, not because of our talent, not because of our ability, or not even because of our skill. I have a friend who gave his life to Christ not long ago. What is surprising is that he started getting insight around things, around circumstances, and around people. He never used to be like that before. That is the work of the Holy Spirit through the gift called the gift of wisdom. Even me, after giving my life to Christ, I started noticing that my speech started gravitating towards inspiration, towards edification, towards speaking life in people. Everybody that came around me started noticing that. That is the work of the Holy Spirit through the gift called the gift of exhortation. But how can we cultivate the gift of leadership? We look at 3 strategies. The first strategy is to look around you. Are you working in an organization or institution? Do this. Look for opportunities to offer yourself as a volunteer as part of a group, a committee, a project, or a program. As you volunteer, desire to know a little more than others about that project. Whenever the committee is meeting to discuss the project, always have a tentative proposal with clearly presented summaries about the entire project. This will set you as a cut above the rest, and you'll start having a soft influence amongst your peers or your colleagues or your committee members. About 2 months ago, I was proposed to be part of a committee that was going to discuss the problems and offer solutions about a specific department. Even days before we had the meeting, I decided to do an analysis of the minutes and came up with a template that had 7 specific talking points that will govern the agenda of that meeting. Now, as a principle that governs project, the very first proposal to be tabled is normally adopted as a standard. So by the time we are having the meeting, my proposal was already adopted as a standard of the discussion. A committee that was supposed to last for 2 weeks only lasted for 5 days. Why? Because I proactively came up with a tentative proposal that will govern the shape of the meeting. The other strategy is to look above you. Remember, this is a spiritual gift, so you have to consistently be connected spiritually. Looking above you involves fellowship, it involves prayer. What is God telling you about your gift? Obey. The other strategy is to look within you. Looking within you involves passion. What aspects of the project are you passionate about? Is it data entry? Is it strategic communication? Is it qualitative analysis? Try to voice your concern always and offer your expertise in those areas about the project that you are passionate about. Look, this is the point. We are all called to serve. Aim at being involved. You cannot live in isolation. Step out of your comfort zone. God is looking for busy yet available people. People that are committed, people that are gifted, people that are skilled, people that are competent. Are you the one? Let's link up in the next reflection.